microchips, computers could operate thousands of times faster than machines that had moving electromechanical switches. General purpose. Finally, the machines would eventually have the ability to be programmed and reprogrammed, and even reprogram themselves for a variety of purposes. They would be able to solve not just one form of mathematical calculation, such as differential equations, but could handle a multiplicity of tasks and simple manipulations, involving words and music and pictures as well as numbers, thus fulfilling the potential that Lady Lovelace had celebrated when describing Babbage's analytical engine. Innovation occurs when ripe seeds fall on fertile ground. Instead of having a single cause, the great advances of 1937 came from a combination of capabilities, ideas, and needs that coincided in multiple places. As often happens in the annals of invention, especially information technology invention, the time was right and the atmosphere was charged. The development of vacuum tubes for the radio industry paved the way for the creation of electronic digital circuits. That was accompanied by theoretical advances in logic that made circuits more useful, and the march was quickened by the drums of war. As nations began arming for the looming conflict, it became clear that computational power was as important as firepower. Advances fed on one another, occurring almost simultaneously and spontaneously at Harvard and MIT and Princeton and Bell Labs and an apartment in Berlin, and even, most improbably but interestingly, in a basement in Ames, Iowa. Underpinning all of these advances were some beautiful, Ada might call them poetic, leaps of mathematics. One of these leaps led to the formal concept of a universal computer, a general-purpose machine that could be programmed to perform any logical task and simulate the behavior of any other logical machine. It was conjured up as a thought experiment by a brilliant English mathematician with a life story that was both inspiring and tragic. Alan Turing. Alan Turing had the cold upbringing of a child born on the fraying fringe of the British gentry. His family had been graced since 1638 with a baronetcy, which had meandered down the lineage to one of his nephews. But for the younger sons on the family tree, which Turing and his father and grandfather were, there was no land and little wealth. Most went into fields such as the clergy, like Alan's grandfather, and the colonial civil service, like his father, who served as a minor administrator in the remote regions of India. Alan was conceived in Chhatarpur, India,